I'm sure you've seen a stethoscope before. You use it to hear what's happening inside your body. If you hold a stethoscope to the middle of your chest, just listen to what you can hear. That's the sound of a beating heart. The heart is the strongest muscular organ in your body. The heart is the central control for the entire circulatory system. By placing 2 fingers on your wrist, you can also feel your circulatory system at work. That's called your pulse. The circulatory system is also referred to as the cardiovascular system. Let's break down the word cardiovascular. Cardio means heart, and vascular means vessels. The cardiovascular system consists of the heart, all the different blood vessels, and blood. It carries the substances your body needs to cells in your body, then carries the waste products away. Let's take a look at each part of the cardiovascular system. First, blood. What exactly is blood? Blood is made up of 4 components: plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Plasma is the fluid part of the blood. A red blood cell has no nucleus and therefore cannot live long. Every second, about 2 million RBCs die. It's a good thing for us that our bone marrow produces new red blood cells at the same rate. White blood cells are also produced in bone marrow. If you were to look at a white blood cell under a microscope, it would look something like this. In a single drop of blood, there are about 8,000 white blood cells. White blood cells, or WBCs, are the body's disease fighters. Pathogens are viruses or bacteria, what we sometimes call germs. These can enter your body and make you sick. Some white blood cells search for pathogens. When they find some, they engulf them. Other white blood cells release antibodies, a chemical that helps destroy pathogens. As soon as a person starts to bleed, platelets begin to clump together and form a plug that helps reduce blood loss. Platelets also release a variety of chemicals that react with proteins to create a chemical called fibrin. Fibrin weaves a net across the wound in the blood vessel and traps the blood cells. Eventually, a blood clot forms. A scab is a dried blood clot on the skin surface. Let's take a look at our own personal pump, the heart. If we could look inside the heart, we would see that it has a left and a right side. The sides are separated by a thick muscular wall called the septum. Each side of the heart has an upper chamber called an atrium. This is the right atrium. This is the left atrium. Each side has 2 lower chambers. These are called ventricles, the right ventricle and the left ventricle. The atria and the ventricles are separated by one-way valves. As blood moves through the heart, the valves close, preventing blood from going backwards. First, when the heart muscle relaxes, oxygen-rich blood from the lungs fills the left atrium. At the same time, the right atrium fills with oxygen-poor blood coming back from the body. Then, the heart muscle contracts, and blood is squeezed through the valves from the atria into the ventricles. When the ventricles contract, blood from the right ventricle goes to the lungs to pick up oxygen, while blood from the left ventricle goes to supply oxygen to the rest of the body. Just a small group of cells in the right atrium called the pacemaker. The pacemaker sends out electric signals that make the heart muscle contract, which regulates the pace of the heart. So, the heart is the crossroads where all operations of the circulatory system take place.